to another unboxing video. On a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays from Three Sons RC. But hey, I'm super excited to talk to you guys today about the Arrma Mojave EXB. This is going to be an unboxing, but we're not going to be taking out of the box. That's already been done. You guys seen that all a bunch. But hey, want to break this down to you, kind of go over some features, some specs. Don't want to bore you to death, but want to go over what the highlights are, what makes this already a great basher. Now that it's an EXB, what the differences are and how that affects what you can do with the truck. Plus, the bonus here is I'm going to be going over these M2C parts here. There's a couple parts here that just came out. I want to show you guys what's available for the Arrma Mojave EXB and that Mojave line that will work on your trucks. Props to Mitch Luber over at M2C Racing and all the parts that they're releasing for these Arrma trucks. Just really help out our bashing. Want to get to the specs here, but also just, gosh, look at this truck. Arrma, you just did a fantastic job with this Arrma. So like, comment, subscribe over Three Sons RC. Appreciate you guys. If you guys like unboxing, you like bashing, you want to see this truck in action, we're going to send this thing like crazy. We're going to really push the durability of this truck, and we're going to upgrade as we need to. But this thing out the box is just tough. So props to Arrma. Arrma tough, baby. Let's do this. Unboxing. Hey, like I'm subscribed. Let's do this. Full option roller. It comes with a manual. Has a little bit more instructions than normal for putting your ESC and all that kind of stuff in there and settings that you need for that. Comes with your sticker plate, a couple little tools, pistons, speed pinion, and what you'll need, obviously, because it doesn't have these, is your motor, your ESC, your servo, your receiver, and transmitter. Before I even take off the shell, guys, look at this body. I love the paint scheme with the gloss black and the matte black and then also the gray. Just a great combo, great body. I like the tradition, that EXB, those color schemes and everything that's been brought over to the Mojave. Now also, before I take the body off, what kind of want to show, this suspension is just so plush. Now obviously a much softer weight oil is in the shock and the suspension to absorb those bumps. All right, so make sure you guys stay to the end of this video because we're going to be going over these M2C parts because I'm excited about those as well. But let's go over this truck. Now I'm going to go over the front, the rear, and the center of this truck. And I'm also going to kind of start off real quick with probably what I think is the biggest improvement. They went to a 70-75 chassis on this. Still stocks thickness, but that's going to add a lot of durability out the box. On the front of the truck, we have the HD front upper hinge pins, right? You can see them on the box here because you're not going to really see them there. It's kind of hard to get at them. And then also you have the HD steel turnbuckles. Now I never had a problem with the normal stock turnbuckles with Arrma. Sometimes these would strip out and break, but this is a much thicker and stronger steel turnbuckle. So great job on that, Arrma. And this aluminum upper hinge pin holder by Arrma, red anodized, looks real sweet. I want to go over the front bumper here that Arrma's redesigned from the first Mojave. So it used to be kind of like two different angles and two different pieces. This is just nice, one nice curve. Really helps with the durability of the truck there. And also while we're looking at the bottom of the chassis, look at that, don't just bash, blast, baby. Arrma Motor Works, great 70-75 chassis that it comes with out the box. So that just looks super sweet with the etching and all that kind of stuff. Let's flip the truck back over and get to the other side. Now that we've gone over the front of the truck, let's move to the back. And one of the things I want to start out with, one of the great improvements is, you see these body mounts. These have been improved and toughened. Let me go over the older model. I have an older one right here. I want to show you the difference. Kind of look at the bottom here. Look how kind of just plain and straight and normal. And guys used to break these. This truck topples at high speeds, and they could possibly break the body mounts. And so what they did is they went and redesigned that. Let me see if I can show you guys how they've done that. All right, guys, now see those ridges up in there? Those are strengthened ridges. There's also more rigidity added to this outside piece. And you can just feel when you push down on that, it's just a little bit more rigid than it used to be, which is not gonna hurt. It's still gonna absorb the impact, but it's just tougher and should take a little bit more punishment. So now Arrma's also improved the shock standoffs here. They're still 3mm, but they've been toughened. Look at this burly bumper. This thing just obviously has kind of flexible plastic, will absorb a lot of shock, high-speed impacts, and it's obviously got that scale look to it. Center truck, you see now it has an aluminum servo mount, which is super important for when you're wanting accurate steering. The stock one was plastic, gave a little bit, so props to Arrma for changing that out. And also got the aluminum chassis braces. Now these are not 70-75, but they're still aluminum, so it should add a lot of rigidity up the center of the chassis there, and also have that center brace that runs down the whole chassis. Now for me, some of the best highlights of this truck are the limited slip differentials that are in the front and the center of the truck. Now some of the guys have mentioned, or I've found, that actually Arrma is putting in limited slip differentials in the front, center, and the rear because there have been a couple issues with the rear open diff. I'll put a comment down there in the description if mine actually has an LSD in the back as well. But yeah, let me talk about this. So you basically have 3 plates on the top and I believe 3 plates down at the bottom. And when you're running under stress, it helps with power transfer. And I think that's one of the best innovations that Arrma's done with the diffs. Also, with the diffs, they've actually changed the gears. Now you can see here, you can't really see too well here, but the teeth on these gears are actually wider, and actually on the spur gear as well. They're wider, there's more contact there, and also there's a little bit of a degree turn on there. So there's also a greater curve to these teeth that helps it grip better with the pinion gear on the front and the rear. Here's a center diff, so you can kind of see a little bit more burly, kind of puts the rubber shielded bearings throughout the entire truck. So that's great that it already comes with that. You don't have to swap those out. And this is an extra center diff. I don't know if I'll ever need it. Basically, I think the biggest innovation with this truck is the limited slip differentials, added durability, added strength and reliability. So great job on that. I love this rubber valance. This kind of adds that quality to the truck, right? Also has a bumper built right into the front end of the grill, adds to the durability of the shell. Let me show you guys this integrated cage. So you can see underneath the body, it's all bolted in, locked in there, not going anywhere. And this piece right here, and a little piece of foam, locks right in to this guy right here. So when you get hit from above, when you flip your vehicle, it's gonna lock right in and not gonna give from underneath. And then also within the body, that cage is a real functional cage. It supports and connects underneath. And this also gives a little bit. I love the hyper detail on the decals that Arrma's added, especially on the guys on the inside of the truck. You can see that it says Arrma on their seat belts, their visors, also has instrument cluster up front, and just all these little details. And even on the Speedo for the driver says, don't just bash, blast. I mean, how sweet is that? Back of the truck at the fire extinguishers. I don't know what those things are, but they're important. All the stickers, just obviously there's not real fire extinguishers, they're just decals. But you know, that's why you're not paying $1,000 for this truck. They cut a couple corners there, but obviously they saved money and put that into the truck and just made it super basher. It doesn't need to have ultra realistic fire extinguishers in the back. A sticker's fine for me. Let's bash this thing, right? So why is the Arrma Mojave pretty much legendary durable? It's things like these roof skids, it's stuff like these Nerf bars underneath, and the Velcro is just a nice touch. And look at these diffs, the bulkheads. How do you even get at those things? You have these shock absorbers right here. You have this nice burly bumper that gives. You have these body mounts up top that actually give and support when you take those top. You see they connect in the front and in the back. So it's really hard to even get at the towers for rolls. You have all this impact zones in the back and the bumper and the body mounts and everything, and the cage up on top that links down. See how it connects right there? It's really hard to get at the integral components to really damage your truck. That's why this truck is super durable. But with durability, everything can be broken, right? There's a stress point and a breaking point for any type of rig. Now, props to Arrma for putting together just a super durable Arrma Mojave EXB. It's a great rig, and I'm looking forward to bash this. But also, there's the aftermarket to kind of support Arrma. Let's go right parts from M2C Racing, specifically for the Arrma Mojave EXB or the Mojave. These are going to work on both of these trucks. So, the foundation, 4mm, 7075 Goliath-style chassis. This is just the foundation for your build. This is going to really just protect and hold everything together. It's going to give and flex a little bit, but that is going to just really protect your bashing and take it to the whole nother level. It's nice to have 75 stock EXB chassis, but if you need a little bit more, M2C's got you. Here, M2C Racing creates a whole series of parts that work as a system, basically like a skeletal system. You got the foundation, all the skeletal parts that really kind of build up the durability of what is already a durable truck that Arrma's put out here. But M2C Racing just taking it to the extreme bashing level. If you need that level right there, you might want to pick up some of these parts at M2C Racing. Link in the description. Check these guys out. This is awesome stuff from them. Next, we have the towers, front and rear, 7075. These will work on the EXB Mojave and the regular Mojave. I believe they're up to 9mm thick, so these are super thick. You can see the great work that is done with the machining on here. This is the rear one, but let me go over the front one real quick. There's something special about this one. You can see the front one has a little indentation right there, and that's for these little captures for the front bolts. So it connects your hinge pins that connect in the top screw to these right here. These screws right here connect to the bottom. So it basically makes it so that they can't pull out and makes the whole front end a lot more durable. If you want to go full beefcake, you can't beat 7075 chassis braces from M2C Racing. These are just fantastic. Got the 4mm bolt that drills straight through. You can see these things are solid. Got a cutout for your drive shaft right there. Great piece of beef right there. This is my favorite part besides the chassis from M2C Racing is this tower support brace. New part number here is 3460. And what this does is it basically connects right up in there, right? It transfers the energy from an impact down through the chassis braces, down into the chassis, zeroes itself out. Great piece. I got an install video on this if you want to check that out at 3 Sons RC. Appreciate that. Check it out. But this is a great piece. This is my favorite piece from M2C Racing. Super innovative and definitely a must-have piece. Now, this has been redone for the Mojave, and this is just released. It's a little bit different than the other 6S trucks. Got 3 sets of holes, so it actually works on a couple different trucks, but this will work on the Mojave now. Now, these M2C Droop Screws are available for all the 6S trucks and super essential because basically when you get your 6S Arrma rig, it comes with your standard Droop Screws that literally have the bottom looks just like the bottom of this screw. And what it does is when the arm comes down, it jabs into the chassis and just digs it all out. But these obviously flip this way. They go up into the arm. It has a mushroom head in the bottom, and that protects your chassis. And obviously, if you want to know what droop does, check out one of my videos. I have a video at 3 Sons RC about setting your droop. Setting your droop is going to save your arms, it's going to save your shock rod ends, it's going to save your shock rods, and it basically makes it so your arm doesn't travel all the way down. Or actually, when you take an impact, the shock rod is not completely extended, so it kind of pulls it up a little bit and creates a little bit of tension there. Check the video at 3 Sons RC for a better description on that. I don't know how many of you guys have seen a video with the Arrma Mojave. The tire goes flying off. and the guy's cursing, trying to figure out what happened. This is going to stop that. This from M2C is basically a hex extender. Extends the hub out a little bit by 2mm and comes with 2 bolts there that are going to basically be interlocking. What you're going to do is crank the first one on super hard, right? And the second one, you can dab a little bit of blue Loctite on there and put that on behind it so that your bolts are not going to come loose and you're not going to lose that tire flying off into nothingness. So I don't suggest running the Mojave without these. In fact, I'm not going to run it until I have all 4 of these at the corner. So these are going on day 1 before I even start bashing these. So these are a great piece. Got to get these. Also, like all the other 6S trucks, we got the pillow ball retainers from M2C Racing. Now, the difference between these is just like the Arrmas, they're in 2 separate pieces. You got the Delrin backings, right, that hold the drive cup, but then you also have the front here. And what this does is it's got a little bit thicker lip. I don't know if you see this on camera, but it's got a little bit thicker lip on the top, and what that does is when you're tightening it down, it locks right into the hub and keeps that secure so they don't come loose on you. Gonna run through these last couple of upgrades from M2C Racing real quick. Got the shock standoffs, 4mm drill, comes with the drill bit. If you get the 4-pack, it comes with a drill bit, and these are important for your shock standoffs, and that's 4mm as opposed to the stock 3mm. Gonna strengthen that up a little bit. Also have the Outdrives and the drive cups. These are made out of tool steel, just toughens it up, and also there's no slop at all in these. So that's what's great about these pieces. Over here is the ZRS Bladderless shock system from M2C Racing. Now this is a great piece of kit. Comes with the shock caps, the pistons, and the rings and all this kind of stuff. What this does is it really just helps with rebound, helps you absorb a lot more impacts when you're going at high speed, and when you're really bashing, going with those big sends, you won't bounce as much afterwards because of these pistons, the way they're designed. They got slots at the bottom that slow it down, and the rubber rings that go around the pistons. Check out Richard Duperbash's video on the install and refurbishment. I'll put a link in the description to that video. It's a great piece. I use this on all my rigs, super important, and we'll see how this works on the Mojave, because the Mojave is a little bit different. We want to make sure that we have that rapid action going up and down. So I might try this with these pistons or possibly the stock pistons, kind of see what works out. So I'll put a link in the description, comment on if I change this system up. But hey, props to M2C Racing. Look at all these great upgrades. Hey, Arrma, great truck. EXB, this is a beast. We're going to bash the heck out of this thing stock. Well, stock besides these little nuts we're going to put on from the beginning. We're going to rock this thing stock and upgrade as necessary. So Arrma, props to you guys. Great truck here. We're going to bash this Arrma Mojave. We got M2C Racing to back us up for when we're going just stupid, because I'm going to send this thing to the extreme. We're going to see what happens. We're going to bash on this thing. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. You guys appreciate this video. Put some time into it. Hey, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope you guys appreciate this video. Like, comment, subscribe. 3 Sons RC. Peace out. Yeah.